Hi everyone. We can study about the design of clutches. Before that, we have to know about how a clutch will work. Just listen. Clutch and brakes provided frictional, magnetic, hydraulic or mechanical connection between two machine elements, usually shafts, that may be driver and driven. A clutch is a machine member used to connect driving shaft to a driven shaft so that the driven shaft may be started or stopped at will without stopping the driving shaft. So this is basic about the clutch. Now I can show a video regarding this one. Just listen. Listen this video. This is the basic parts of a clutch. First one, there is a driver. That driver is from the engine side on the left section. Then there is a transmission side that is on the right side. In between, the red color, it's a clutch cover, and there are different elements in the clutch cover plate. So we have to study how the clutch will engage and disengage. So there is a clutch lever. We know, everyone know about the clutch lever. Once we press on the clutch lever, there will be disengagement will happen. That is there is no effect on the driving shaft because the driver always running, but the driven shaft will be stopped if we engage the clutch. And now we can study how it will work and what are the basic elements inside this clutch. This one is a flywheel and the driving shaft is on the flywheel. From the engine, the shaft always rotating, and this one is the flywheel. And on the flywheel, we have to apply clutch plate like this. This one is the clutch plate, and there is a driven shaft also. That driven shaft is engaged to the clutch plate, and it is fixed to the flywheel. And just listen. Now it is engaged. The driving, it is not engaged. That means the driver is rotating and there is no rotation on the driven. Now it is engaged, so always working. That driven worked on the driven. Now the clutch cover plate is attached here, and inside that there is a spring. Now we can listen how the, just view this section. This is the basic section behind the clutch. This is the clutch plate and this is the spring. Now the clutch lever acts on this spring section, and during engagement or during the action of the, due to the action of the lever, clutch lever, there will be disengagement from the clutch plate and the flywheel. So the driven shaft will not work. Driver shaft is always running. This system is for the clutch lever section. Just listen. It is pressed. What will happen? That driven is stopped, but driver is always running. That is happen in the clutch section. Okay. That section is explained here how the clutch will work. Now we can go for the different types of clutch. What are the different types of clutch? Clutches are mainly classified into positive clutch and the frictional clutch. Again, the positive clutch, the frictional clutch is again classified into axial friction and radial friction. That we can discuss later. Again, that axial friction is divided into plate clutch and cone clutch. That is our design section. Plate clutch and cone clutch. What are the? Plate clutch is again divided into single plate and multi plate clutch. And one more thing we have to study, that is a cone clutch. These are the design. The design of cone clutch and plate clutch is necessary in our syllabus. So we have to study these two sections. Okay. The video is related to the single plate clutch, but the video is not. The figure is necessary to identify how the clutch and what are the basic elements in the clutch. So this is using this figure we can identify how the clutch will work and what are the basic elements required on a clutch. So this is the driving shaft, identify, and there are two sections, A and B. Then the B section is attached to the driven shaft. It is already shown here, and there is an actuating spring. The purpose of actuating spring we already seen in the video. Okay. Now there is a frictional lining, and in this section, in this frictional lining, the separation is shown here. There is a R, it is the radius, and here we selected a small portion that we denoted as dr. And now we can take the lining is on the two sections, that is outer radius and inner radius. This is the inner radius denoted as Ri, and we can write it as 2Ri, and next one is 2Ro, that is the outer radius. Okay. A single plate clutch is shown in figure is, it is essentially consists of two flanges, A and B, that we already discussed. One flange is fitted rigidly to the shaft, that is the driving shaft, and another is on the driven shaft. Now the pressure will act on the lining. Torque is transmitted by friction between the flanges. The amount of torque transmitted depends upon the axial pressure, coefficient of friction, and radius of friction surface. So these are the basic requirement in the clutch. Axial pressure is required, coefficient of friction is required, and the radius of friction surface is necessary for the design of the clutch. Generally it is used in heavy motor vehicles like the trucks, buses, etc. that we are already aware about the clutch system. The next one is the multi-plate clutch. Previously we studied about the single plate clutch, or we are aware about the single plate. Here just listen this figure. Just look at here. There is a driving shaft, and another right side there is a driven shaft. Here the number of plates are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So total 5 plates are attached here. That is a multi-plate clutch system. And here we have plate A and plate B, because during the engagement we need 2 plates. Just listen. This figure shows line diagram of a multi-plate clutch. The plates shown as A are made of steel and are mounted on the driven shaft by splints to permit axial motion, while plate B made of bronze are mounted on the driving shaft. These are used large amount of torque has to transmit. So this type of clutch is mainly used for machine tools and light motor vehicles such as scooters. Okay.